It's the place to go for real Mexican food. Juan's offers lunch and dinner specials and fajitas that are so good, they're on fire! Come on down and have a seat at the full-service bar for a Corona Rita before sitting down to one of our signature dinners or create your own combo. Juan's is open 7 days a week, so get down here and get your fire on! It's monsoon season in Las Vegas, and with monsoon season comes humidity. And if you have cats or dogs and carpet, you know what that means. Every accident your pet has ever had comes back to life and haunts every breath you take. This year, quit spending hundreds of dollars on sprays that just cover up odors. Call Aim to Please Carpet and Upholstery Steam Cleaning to take care of it once and for all. Aim to Please has been locally owned and operated for over 20 years, and they specialize in pet urine stain removal, tile and grout cleaning, pressure washing, air duct cleaning, 24-hour flood damage, and carpet and upholstery cleaning. Mention the Rockin' Comedy Show and receive 10% off your next service. Find us at www.aimtoplease.org or call us at 702-526-8888. Aim to Please. We're in this together.
Have you recently lost a loved one? I'm Dick Palmer, funeral director of Happy Endings Funeral Home. Times like these can be hard on anyone, but if there's one thing I've learned in my many years of experience, it's that every stiff deserves a happy ending. That's why we're here, to lend a hand. Get your loved one off the right way. Choose Happy Endings Funeral Home, experts in handling life's final climax. Happy Endings Funeral Home, proud sponsor of the Rockin' Comedy Show.
This is Bill Cosby, and you're listening to the Rockin' Comedy Show, and I approve this message.
That's right, everybody. Bill Cosby here on the Rockin' Comedy Show. So there we go. And joining us in the studio, it's Linda Lou.
Hey, Jay. Great job on that.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
that was fun.
Very good.
And joining us in the studio, it's Dennis Blair. And the crowd goes wild.
The crowd turns away.
They've left.
The crowd turns to the wall.
Welcome to the show, buddy.
Thank you very much.
I've seen you a couple of times around town now.
That was me.
And now your punishment is to do the show.
Jesus. Why do I have to do this? Thank you so much. What did I do?
For those listening that might not know that much about you, you are apparently a good opener because you spent several years with George Carlin.
Yes. Always a bridesmaid, never a bride. Always opening, never the headline, no. Yeah, years. 18 years with Mr. Carlin.
And you also opened for Dangerfield?
Rodney Dangerfield, Joan Rivers, Tom Jones, about 40 other people over my career. But those are the regulars. Those are the ones I did most time with.
Wow.
But yeah,
impressive.
I've had a lot of experiences with those guys.
What's Joan like?
Joan, it sounds exactly like this. She's, when I was with her in the 80s, she was great. She was a den mother. She would always organize trips. She'd call at 10 in the morning and go, "We're going skiing." All right, fine. And you can't say no because you're working for her. And if you say no, you're not working for her anymore. Honey, get up. We're going skiing with Joan and the entourage. Okay. We're going to the mountain. We're going on the boat. What boat? What are you talking about? The boat that Caesar's had in Tahoe. We all had to go on the boat. So yeah, nothing's changed. Just a little bit more face work.
Yeah.
And walking off CNN. But other than that, fine.
So you have been doing comedy for 14 years. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, 14 years. And it's funny because when I was opening for George, I was just a carpenter. So there you go. 35 years I've been doing this. That's why I look like this.
Yeah.
That's why I look this tired. Because no breaks. I don't sleep. I just do comedy 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do you like being on the road still? Do you like?
Yeah. For some reason, I love airports. I don't know why. Because I'm a sick fuck. That's why. What am I, Joe Pesci? All of a sudden, I'm a sick fuck. I love being on the road. I like hotels. I don't know what's wrong with me. Hotels, airports. I'm not crazy about being on the airplane itself because that's scary as shit. But once I get there, I'm fine. And then doing the shows is fun. Unless the audience sucks, and then it's not. Right. So yeah, good. But I like being home too. I like doing gigs in town. So anything, as long as there's a check involved, I'm fine.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you like doing the cruises?
Depends. Sometimes these cruises now they're all different. A lot of them have comedy clubs now.
Right.
Which is very good because the people are actually coming to see a comedy show and they know it. Like sometimes you go on a cruise and it's just a show and they don't tell anybody what it is, and they show up and you can hear them going, "What is he? What is he telling jokes? What is it? Oh, what? Oh, no, that's what is that? A penis? No, I can't. No." So those are not always fun, but the comedy club cruises especially, which I'm going to do in about 5 days for 2 weeks. Those are great because people show up and they're rowdy and they're in a good mood and they're fun. So yeah.
How did you get hooked up with George Carlin?
I had a really good agent at the time, better than Bill Cosby's. And he was great. He would call me like every week or two and say, "Hey, you want to open up for this guy or this person or this band?" And I go, "Yeah." And then one day in 1988, he called me and said, "Hey, you want to open for George Carlin for 3 months?" And I said, "Oh, let me get back to you." "Of course I do." And that was a 3-month gig, and luckily we both got along and the shows worked well together. And he said after 3 months, he said, "Hey, you want to stay?" And I said, "Sure, I'll stay." So that turned into an 18-year gig.
Wow.
That's how that happened.
It must have been great to hang out with him.
It was, because he was really nuts off stage. He was really, I mean, I was afraid when I first saw it, because he had that anger thing going on stage sometimes.
Right.
And I hadn't even met George. So I'm pacing in my room. It was Omaha, Nebraska, 1988, and I'm there at the theater, and I'd never met George. They just booked me, and I'm pacing, going, "I hope he's not an idiot. I hope he's not an ass," because some celebrities, I don't know if you know this, can be quite.
Yeah.
So. All of a sudden, I hear the door open upstairs. It's the stage door, and I just hear George's voice going, "Dennis, where the fuck are you?" And I've never met the guy. "I'm down here." And he comes in, he takes like stuff from my fruit tray and says, "So what the fuck do you do? What do you do?" "I'm going to take all this shit, all right? Don't fuck up tonight. I'll be watching you." And then he leaves, and I'm going, "This is great. This is going to be fun." And then luckily the show went well, and he liked it, and
it was like the first time I met Tommy Chong. He was like, "Yeah, I'll do the interview." Gave me the address to his house, and I go over there, which was hard to find anyway. And then when I got there, Ray Don Chong answers the door, which one, you're like, "Oh crap, that's
right.
Ray Don Chong."
Yeah.
And then like, I'm standing in what I would consider to be like the living room of a house, but this house is enormous. And I'm just standing there waiting for him because she's like, "Yeah, my dad will be out soon," or whatever. And he finally, I hear him and he's like, "Well, where's he at, man?" And then it's like he's upstairs. So then he comes up and I'm standing there and he's like, "Well, what are you doing up here, man?" And I was like, "Well, where am I supposed to be?"
So nothing's changed.
I've never been here before. I've never been to your house.
Don't you know you're supposed to meet me in the piazza?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you, dude?
He's like, "We got the studio downstairs." Well, where's downstairs?
Right,
right. So, yeah.
Tommy, you should know the layout of my house, Chong. That's why he got that nickname.
Exactly. So,
At least you got to meet him beforehand. I was just cold. It was like, I hope, what's he going to be like, George?
Oh, that was just over when I got the okay, that was just over the phone.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I'd never met him until we got into his house. And then, of course, then just to be enamored because Ray Don Chong is there, is on top of it. Right. And it's just like, wow. And then here's her dad, and it's like, wow. And that was, that was a cool experience as well. But so George Carlin, it must have been an amazing time.
Oh yeah, because from the beginning, packed houses, 2,000 seats, opening for him, and. There's always the opening act thing of who's this guy? I would actually, you always get that as an opening act. It's like they don't want to see you, so you have to really, hit them hard at the beginning. And I would actually take my guitar, because I do a lot of song parodies, and I would put it on the stage so that as people would come in, they would see there was a guitar on stage, and then I'd have my name on the marquee under George's. So hopefully with those two things, maybe it would register that there's an opener. But still, no matter what, the lights would go on. George! No, George does not play the guitar. And then I'd walk out. "Oh, this fucking guy." So I had to be real quick. But then usually his audiences were good for me. So it was fun. And then you have 1,000, 2,000, sometimes 3,000 people just going nuts. That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we have a guitar. You want to do a couple parodies for us?
Well, I'll just reach over. Hold on. Talk amongst yourselves. What is this, a Stradivarius?
Yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah. What's my latest one?
Or as I like to say, an acoustic.
Yes, wow. Who should I do? See, now all my parodies are short now.
Yeah, that's fine.
Is this in tune? No, of course. Listen, it's a comedy show. Fuck it.
It was in tune until Darius dropped it.
What was it, Darius' fault?
Yeah, it was my fault.
Son of a bitch. And I say that not even knowing you.
And that's fine.
I'm calling a guy I just met 10 minutes ago a son of a bitch. What's wrong with me? This is how This is how my career got started. Who should I do? Who do you want to hear? Yell out somebody till I know it.
Prince.
Who?
Prince.
Prince? Prince writes great, always wrote great lyrics. Stuff we really need to know.
Rolling Stones.
This is what it sounds like when doves cry. See, they're short. That
But
way, if
funny.
they suck, you just go to the next one.
Right.
What'd
yeah.
you say, Rolling Stones?
Rolling Stones.
Wild horses just convinced me I'm gay. Rolling Stones, quick.
I
All
like
right,
it.
see? All right.
Okay.
There you
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson. If you wanna have sex and there's no one there to have it with, beat it. Just beat it. Michael Jackson.
The Beatles.
Beatles. Wow. Never heard of John
Never heard
Lennon.
him?
No, never heard of him. John Lennon.
They were a little
Let's
bit.
start with John Lennon. Then I got a whole Beatles thing. Hold on. Imagine there's no Yoko. That was my John Lennon. Then now the Beatles, the whole thing is like, it's like, because everybody knows every Beatles song by heart, pretty much. But there must have been like, while I was still working on the lyrics, like they had like first draft lyrics.
Right.
They weren't quite finished yet. And Paul would come up to John and go, "Hey, John, I'm working on this tune. What do you think of the lyric?" 2 days ago, all my troubles seem so incredibly close by. Then you get the commercial, first draft Beatles. The way those songs sounded before they became big hits. You'll hear, got to have a slice of pizza. Well, you know, pepperoni on the top, pepperoni, oh, pepperoni. Then you've got, hey, Phil, don't let me down. And of course, ooh, I came home a day early, ooh, and I caught you with Shirley. You were supposed to be my best friend. Got to get you off of my wife. The Beatles, first draft. Those. All right. That's sampling.
Available on K-Tel Records.
That's right. God, wouldn't that be great?
Hilarious.
I used to
sampling of my
I used to love those
stupidity.
K-Tel commercials. 'Cause,
Yeah.
hey, Jan, I got this new album.
Oh, I still love them.
Yeah, they're so
Even
funny.
when they're on like a shitty infomercial like that, I just can't not watch it. Just with the bad hair and everything like that.
Yeah.
How much would you expect to pay for this in stores if you collected all of these singly? What kind of an idiot would go to a store? I want to get one from this CD and one from there. Was your collection?
Now that's what iTunes is for.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Pick your hits.
If you went to a record store, you'd be in a parallel universe. Because there are no record stores.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I miss that. I miss going into like Tower Records. And,
Yeah.
Well, they have Zia here.
yeah. Zia Records is the equivalent to Tower Records.
And have you ever been to LA? Amoeba? You ever
Oh,
been to
yeah.
Oh,
we've
yeah.
been
That's
there.
like it's still one of my favorite places.
And of
Something
course
about
Rhino,
browsing.
and of course Rhino Records on Santa
Yeah.
Monica Boulevard.
Right.
Gotta love that.
Yeah, something about the browsing experience.
It is, yeah, man.
Yeah, I remember in high school, just like, oh, Mom, I'm going to Tower Records. When are you gonna be back? When I'm done. Because you never knew what you're gonna see, and they had so much stuff. It wasn't just about the CDs and the albums. They had like collectible stuff, magazines, and all all kinds of
Posters.
stuff. Yeah.
Shirts.
Now everything.
My friend's like, well, Tower Records is still around. It's online. I go, it ain't the same.
They should just have both, because really just going in there and hanging out. That's Barnes & Noble. I'm glad they didn't get rid of all the bookstores because, you go and you have a cup of coffee, you go look at a book, you actually hold it.
Yeah.
Nice. It's kind of nice.
Not just reading it on a Kindle.
Right. And I'm trying not to be one of those guys.
That's why I don't like anything that's happening today. In my day, we had a book you would turn the pages.
Trying not to be that guy.
So, what do you got coming up besides the cruise?
That's what's coming out right now. I just did the Laugh Factory a couple of weeks ago, so nothing in town right now.
love
But
the
I'm
Laugh
doing
Factory.
Laugh Factory is great.
I love the Laugh Factory.
I love that. I do Sin City at Planet Hollywood sometimes, improv sometimes, and I'm doing a club in Florida called McCurdy's in September, which is one of my favorite clubs to play. And then, that's it for now. And, hopefully I'll start booking some stuff for October and November a little bit later on. But that's what I got.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I got like 7 or 8 clubs a year, and like the rest is cruise ships and corporates and stuff like that. Keep it busy.
Do you like do you like the comedy scene here in Vegas? It seems like over the last couple of years it's gotten better.
Yeah.
More clubs, more.
Well, yeah. I mean, the ones I've always done. I did the Improv in February. They also have one in Tahoe, which is a great club. Laugh Factory, Sin City. I did in January, I think. So those are the ones I do. Those 3, and those have always been great. The people there are great. Nice rooms. I've been to Brad Garrett's place, but I haven't performed at the new place. So.
Yeah, that's a nice looking room too.
Maybe someday.
Keep your fingers crossed.
Yeah, I'm doing that. That's what I'm doing. I'm keeping my fingers crossed, and I don't know why, because I don't believe in that shit, but I do it anyway, just in case it turns out to be true.
Well, it's an honor to have you here, for sure.
No problem.
How can people find out where you are performing?
They can go to my website, which is, are you ready? This is going to be difficult to remember, DennisBlair.com.
Oh, let me write that down.
Write it down.
Don't make it so confusing.
In my day, we used to write things down.
I'm that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the website, and I'm on Facebook and, all that stuff.
Do you tweet?
I do, but badly.
Badly.
I think I've got 0.3 followers so far. I'm trying to get more.
Right.
How do you get more followers? I want more followers.
0.3 followers. You can pay for some.
You can pay for some?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, you can pay for followers. It's kind of whack, though.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of whack. If you have to pay for followers,
Yeah.
you're probably a
Yeah.
nobody.
It's like bringer clubs. What do you stand at the freeway entrance and go, I will pay for followers, like the guys
Right.
who are begging for food and stuff?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. But the website, I always put where I'm going to be.
Okay.
So there's a good way.
DennisBlair.com.
Yeah.
Jesus, confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good way to remember that is by remembering DennisBlair.com. It's a great way to remember that.
Right.
So if you forget my name, at least you have that.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you have
Now that I've
albums?
confused everybody, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, what?
Do you have albums available? Or?
I've got 2. They're actually on the website. It's the first one I did was live performance anxiety, and then the later one was words, music, and drunks. Those are the 2.
Words, music, and drums.
Words, music, and drunks.
Okay.
And I have a DVD that I'm starting to edit, and hopefully that'll be out like early next year. So that'll be the 3rd thing.
What's your favorite part about comedy?
Favorite part? When the show's going well and the audience doesn't suck.
When people
Not
laugh.
getting booed.
Yes. My least favorite, you might be amazed to know, is when the audience sucks and it's not going well.
Yeah.
No, I mean, there's nothing bad about it. It's just like, when the audience is dead and they just don't fucking care. It's just,
Right.
God, it's nothing worse. Luckily that doesn't happen too often. But, you always get that one where you have like 12 great gigs in a row and then you have one show and they just off and you go, I can't do this anymore.
You're just in the back and the opener's up there and he's not working the room well.
Right,
and
right.
Then the host isn't working the room well, and it's just
Yeah.
either
So-
just killing everybody that comes out there.
Yeah.
So do you enjoy the cruise ships?
A lot, it depends on the cruise. Like they'll book me on a ship, and then if it depends on the audience. If they're like I did a Crystal cruise once, like about a couple of years ago, and they were very snotty. They were like stiff, and they really shouldn't have booked a comic there. And they just kind of looked at me. That was fun because when you have a really like not a bad show, it was kind of mediocre because they just were terrible. But then you got to stay on the ship for the rest of the week. So you got to see these
gotta
people.
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
So that's
It's
great.
like living in Vegas.
Right. It's like knowing people.
Right. Oh, my gosh.
That's why I wear a lot of hats with like burqas in front of them. But so that was, something like that. It's like there's nothing you can do. They're not laughers. They're. But most of the time it goes pretty well. So
What about corporate work?
I just did one of those. It was okay. Again, same thing. I did a gig for urologists 2 years ago. Yeah. Do I need to go on? God, do they have a sense of humor? I could tell right away. So I said, why did you book? And the woman who booked me was very nice. And she said, no, we've seen you. We think you're very funny. And it's going to be, as soon as they say they're going to love you, that's the first danger sign. Because they never know. Oh, it's a great, it's a fun crowd. And then, no. And it was just torture. But then I've done them where they're great. So it all depends. You just it's rolling the dice,
A room full of urologists.
Yes. Yes. The pee jokes went over really well.
How many urologists does it take to change a light bulb?
I don't care because I keep slipping.
But
Hey, you all urologists? Holy shit. Sorry, inappropriate. Okay.
but Dennis, thank you so much for being here.
A pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
And
And it's Blair, ladies and gentlemen.
I've never followed Bill Cosby before.
I know.
He opened for you.
He did. Wow. That's going on the fucking resume.
But again, thanks for being here, guys. Check out DennisBlair.com. See, I wrote it down.
Thanks.
And you can also follow. You can find him on Twitter. Mm-hmm. You got to search.
Please find me on Twitter. I want to get into 3 digits.
Is it just as simple as Dennis Blair?
Dennis_Blair. Yeah,
There you go.
at Dennis_Blair.
And then
So
you can.
clever.
Isn't that great?
I have one more quick question.
Go ahead.
What does Dennis Blair tweet about?
Usually, if I come up with like a joke about what's going on that week or the day, I'll do that. And then if I'm appearing somewhere, I'll put that there.
Right. Okay.
You know.
Okay.
But it's a lot of just like wise guy shit. You know.
Oh, that works.
Joke. Yeah. And then I get some followers from that. You know.
I cry on Twitter.
You cry?
Yeah, man.
Is there a symbol for that?
I just get my frustrations out.
So does it work for you? Do you get people?
No.
A lot of people?
No, I don't have, no.
Okay. Well, here's the problem. Maybe they don't want to hear you crying.
Right, maybe.
Again, I'm no psychologist, but I'm just thinking.
When I got started on Twitter, though, I was like, what the hell is this for? What do you guys want to know about? And then I can only put so much.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can only say so much. I guess that's where all that LOL and IDK and all that shit comes.
And I get lost when you see like all those @ signs and then hashtags. It's like going, how are people doing it? I need to take a course. I need to like go to a class.
And when I first got on Twitter and like Instagram, it was crazy. Like I didn't make either one of those for myself.
No. All right.
Just some random chicks that I had. They were like, oh my God, you're not on Twitter?
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. I got you. I'll do it.
I know. And then you see people, it's like, they have like 800, 900. I'm going, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
You see people with like thousands.
I know.
I have
followers.
thousands. I don't want to brag.
You have that? Well, yeah, but you got a podcast.
Radio show and shit, man.
Is that what I have to do? I have to get one of these?
Yes.
Shit, I don't have room in my house.
I need to do that.
Let's do it.
Yeah, me.
I get a podcast where you cry. Be perfect. There you go.
Or
I'm keeping
yawn.
you up.
Yeah, and I yawn. I apologize.
He yawns on Twitter.
It's been a long weekend. You guys have no idea. Like the 4th was just like it was crazy, and then it was like barbecues the next 2 days.
Right.
Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And
So torturous.
They want you to show up and you have to eat their food and be nice and pretend like it's good, and I'm just like, oh my God.
You know what? I'm going to unfollow you. You're depressing the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. There we go. That's
We found you. Solutions Man has found a problem.
Solution man.
Solutions, man.
Solution man.
You got to be more positive, man. You know.
Yeah.
Just be more positive. Be more up, and then people will love you.
Yeah, I should start doing it. Just get my hippie on.
Yeah, like I'm giving advice, and I have like nobody.
Well, again, Dennis, thank you for being here. It was awesome.
You got.
And check him out in a comedy club near you.
Yes.
And do that by going to DennisBlair.com.
Yeah.
And we'll be back right after this.
Another night of drinking, and I'm feeling so